QN says, quick question, how did the intro thing come to be? Honestly, I used to be like, Mukluk welcomes you to the lab. But then, Mukluk Reginald welcomes you to the lab. And then I just kept adding more and more and more to it, just having fun with it, until my wife got mad one day. Chomp. I've been chomped. Okay. He's like, that is the exact amount of pats I wanted, and also you did one too many. You look like a bear tried to have you for lunch. What happened?
My brother, Cadman, and I ran into some trouble exploring a temple north of the city. Bears and traps and guards. What else? The floor collapsed from under us. He couldn't walk too well, and yet our captain wanted to keep going, so he sent me back for help. We're with a team from the Free Expedition Corps. We've seen a lot. But no place like this. I fear for their lives, Envoy.
Ginger guy doesn't look that bad off. Maybe he wasn't ginger, and the attack he took made him ginger, and that's like why he looks like so banged up right now. He's like, I was brunette. This temple sounds dangerous. What are you doing there?
It's built on ruins, and the ruins are falling apart. Because of the roots, you know, and the earthquakes. We're looking for the man who built the temple, someone the locals call the Oracle. He's well, he's like you.
He has a plank for a face? But the gods recalled nearly all of my kin during Aoth's march through Deadfire.
All the gods but one, I guess? Because this Oracle, he belongs to Aothus. And if the rumors are true, he's the very last of his kind.
Take it from me. Around here, the rumors always have some truth to them.
We just want to talk to him. That's why we went down there. Now my brother's hurt, and my team's in danger, and I'm stuck here and...
Take it easy, kid.
Sorry. Everyone at the embassy's too busy to help me, and I'm worried sick.
Kai, do you know anything about this Oracle?
Not much. He doesn't get out often. But I've heard he's hundreds of years old and only speaks to godlikes. So, he probably hasn't seen much company in a while. Can't say I blame him. People still fault Aothus for the Saints' War, and that was 25 years ago. If I were the earthly avatar of everyone's least favorite god, I'd go into hiding too.
If nobody wants him here, then he should leave.
Why does the Expedition Corps need to speak to a god like Aothus?
This Oracle. He set himself up in a godless ruin. Turned it into a temple to Aothus, right? Supposedly, he built the whole place up just to house a holy relic. A bone from Aothus's titan.
Wait, you don't mean the gods' titans? Adukaizo?
Exactly. But how do you know about that? I don't remember seeing you at one of our lectures.
Bregan Hill has an archive of expedition journals and newsletters. I've perused them.
I didn't think anyone read those. I used to haunt those stacks as a first year. Before I got recruited to expeditions, I mean. Yeda, our captain, she believes these titan skeletons are what's left of the gods' physical bodies. They used to get up and walk around. And this godlike, he's got a piece of the one that belonged to Aothus. That's what my team is down there to confirm, anyway.
What does your team intend to do with this relic if you find it?
Well, if that relic really is what it's said to be, and if it can heal the sick like it's said to do, it can't stay here. Not in some dank hole in this mouldering backwater. Not when it can help our people with the Dream Scourge. Or help people back home who deserve it more. And yet is determined to get that relic, no matter the risks. The rewards are just too great.
But
Envoy, I'm afraid it's a lie. And they're all going to die down there for nothing.
Alright, I can spare the time. Tell me where to find your team.
Gods, do you mean it? I can't thank you enough. They descended into the temple through a route off the Pilgrim's Path, just north of the city. You'll know you're headed the right way when you see trail markers and rock stacks the Pilgrims left behind. We posted a guard out front, Sedgwin. Let her know I sent you, and she'll let you pass.
Anything else I should know?
This Oracle. I don't know if he's dangerous, but he's supposed to carry a sword full of diamonds.
What?
I'll probably never get to see it now.
Alright, look for rock piles, say hello to Seguin, go spelunking. Got it.
Cadman's not gonna believe his eyes when he sees you. You'll probably find the expedition with the relic we were searching for. Whatever that is. Thank you for hearing me out, Envoy.
Equipment upgrade available in party camp. Alright.
You died. But you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you.
The Cartographers Guild, Volume 1. Long has the renowned Cartographers Guild served the emperors and queens of Aedir. It is we who are responsible for the creation and distribution of the many maps throughout the Empire. Whether to direct travelers throughout the expanse that is Aedir, guide ship captains on their voyages throughout Aora, or simply adorn the walls of an aristocrat's home, one can rest assured that the Cartographers Guild is behind the creation of every one of these works of art. For over 2 centuries since the Noble Expedition Corps discovered the Eastern Reach, have we worked and labored to keep all of the Empire and her colonies supplied with accurate, high-quality maps. God's willing, we will continue to do so for centuries yet to come.
Still can't believe you're alive.
That's all he'll say right now. Oh my god, there's a lot of lore in here! Aedir Customs. Aedir is a country rich with custom, and they are known for strict adherence to them. Their customs run the gamut from grand celebrations like the Feast of Feasts to mundane superstitions, such as ways to avoid sveth addiction. This volume will focus primarily on bigger celebrations, as no one knows how to throw an extravagant party, quite like the Aediran. The Feast of Feasts. The biggest and most important of all Aediran customs is the Feast of Feasts. This week-long celebration, happens the first week of Fenestu, the deep summer, and is dedicated to honoring the life of the first Fairkonyang. Each day of the week is devoted to some aspect of the Fairkonyang's life, and there are very specific dishes to be served at each meal. The Feast of Feasts originally began as a festival celebrating the birth of Fairkonyang, the first son, and soon became a yearly occurrence during the week of his birthday. Currently, Aedirans simply use it as an excuse for a party and pull out all the stops in an effort to outdo previous year. Unless you forget, as I did, which Fairkonyang is honored during the Feast of Feasts, it is always the current Fairkonyang. For each Fairkonyang is the first and only Fairkonyang. Sweet Treat. A special custom that arose at some point during the Feast of Feasts, Sweet Treat started as a way to keep children occupied so the parents could dine in peace. While it is still used for that today, significance has been added to it. Each treat is placed in a container, usually small metal boxes, and hidden somewhere on the property. After everything has been hidden, the children are sent out to find the treasures. It is said now that the hidden treats represent Glanfathan artifacts and the children are explorers, bringing the riches back to their new and rightful owners. Carnival of the Mask. When the original colonists for Aedir traveled to the new land to found the Deerwood in the name of the Aedirian, they encountered the Glanfathan people. The Carnival of the Mask celebrates this meeting. Originally, it was merely a formal reenactment as a play of the tensions between the Glanfathans and the Aedirian settlers, but it has since evolved into much more than that. Participants choose sides and come dressed in elaborate outfits depicting which group they've decided to align themselves with, Aedirans or Glanfathans. Everyone attends a masquerade ball, but this party places any semblance of the play that was presented. Winter's End. Winter's End was never anything more than an excuse for a celebration, and it hasn't changed in all the years it has existed in Aedir. It takes place during winter dusk and lasts all 3 days. People use the time to reflect on the year, celebrate their lives, and remember the dead, especially those who have passed in the current year. Contrary letter. Ambassador Hilgard, I've maintained order in Paradis for many years. I know this city. When there is a good leader and fair policy, there is peace. But you have allowed the Steel Garrote to terrorize my people, to sow distrust and fear. I suggest you tighten your Inquisitor's leash, or the embassy might not carry your banners for long. Signed, Claviger Aemon. And he ended up dead. Steel Garrote Report. We found this book on a public bench. After careful study, our scribe confirmed the handwriting matches the signatures found on scrolls of Terran's chaotic orb. Be advised that Tain is in the living lands. As a member of the Circle of Archmagi, he has a license to go wherever he please. We will observe him at a distance, but no one is to engage him. Tain is otherwise either a harmless fool or one of the most dangerous people alive. We simply can't take that chance. Tane's diary. Dear Diary, here I am in the Living Lands. This island might not be the safest vacation spot, but it's certainly the most colorful. Although also the most flavorful, according to these mushrooms, and mushrooms seldom lie. Before I forget, I promised Bakarna I would bring back a souvenir. There's rumor of a fallen star in Emerald Stair. Could be a nice addition to her collection. A message is scribbled on the inside cover. If found, please return to Tane the Archmage, author of Tane's Chaotic Orb. Oh, wow, there's so much lore in here. Okay, we already read that one. Okay, the Adir Empire Part 1. In approximately 2200 AI, a group of tribes called the People of the Deer unified into a new civilization called the Adir Kingdom. The tribes, small and widespread over the land, knew it would be better for their continued existence to unify. The leaders of each tribe became advisors to the king chosen by the group. Each advisor would still be lord over his people, but each lord would answer to the first king. This decision was exactly what was needed, and the Adrian Kingdom thrived, spreading across the land and establishing strong trade routes. The Adirans became known as fair but shrewd businessmen. While the country thrived and internally there was little strife, there were still the occasional skirmishes with the neighboring elven kingdom of Kulklin. Not long after the kingdom was formed, the Adiran people began studying animancy. Still largely unknown at the time, animancy was an exciting, terrifying new realm in which Adiran scholars saw great potential. This potential came to bear fruit in 2260 AI, when a group of animancers, working together, transferred the soul of a recently departed man into another body, creating the first of what would later come to be known as undead. The reaction to this discovery was swift and decisive. Both the King of Adir and the Church of Wodica condemned this event, and the study or practice of animancy was outlawed. It would never again be practiced openly on Adiran soil. Conflicts with Kulkin continued, escalating into a minor war in 2398 AI. Afterward, a treaty was signed, and the Kingdom of Adir merged with Kulkin to form the Adir Empire. With the political and military strife now settled, the Adir Empire would become an economic powerhouse, able to acquire and generate resources that were difficult to obtain in other parts of the world. The Empire's trade routes became some of the most lucrative in the world. Whew. Alright, last one in this room. Empire Part 2, Expanding Borders. 2602 AI, Adiran explorers returned from over the ocean, telling tales of the ruins and treasures there, and of expansive fields that were perfect for growing Vorlos. The explorers warned that the locals were not friendly to outsiders, but seeing this as an opportunity to extend his empire and secure trade on another continent, sent more explorers. Over the next 20 years, the area that would become the drywood was investigated, mapped, and colonized. In 2623, the first permanent Adiran colonial settlements were established. Vorlos fields were set up north of the forest in the Deerwood, but between the conflicts with the Glanfathans and the War of the Broken Stone, it floundered. It wasn't until 2643 that the opportunity presented itself again. Some Eothasian pilgrims wanting to escape persecution established colonies and Vorlos farming operations in the territory of Reedceris. With Grand Vila on the verge of collapse, the wanted to ensure his hold on the purple dye trade would be established. He encouraged the settlement and even paid to have the pilgrims set up in the New World. Because the was still trying to secure his name in the purple dye trade, he was unable to properly respond to Admeth Hadrit when he issued his ultimatum. To avoid a rebellion and leave himself time to oversee the Vorlos farms in Reedceris, the relented and made Admeth a Graith Palatine. In return for this concession, Admeth spent time and resources on the Deerwood's trade and shipping routes, benefiting the with increased income. For 7 years, the Deerwood provided Adir with a steady income, leaving the time to ensure his trade system in Reedceris was strong. With the attention elsewhere, Admeth instituted the 10 Years Treaties, ending slavery in the Deerwood and permanently removing one of the revenue sources provided by the Deerwooden explorers. The artifacts from the ruins scattered throughout the Deerwood. At this point, the word meant almost nothing to the citizens of the Deerwood. Admeth Hadrit had replaced him as their true leader. In order to undermine Admeth's standing, the found allies willing to explore the ruins, against the treaty conditions, and plunder them. Soon, Adir again had a supply of artifacts to sell. When his agents were eventually caught, the distanced himself with the operation, certain there was no way to link him on the proceedings. But the Gref, using means provided to him by his Glenfathan allies, discovered the evidence needed to prove the was behind the plunderers. The conflict that arose from the revelation led to Admeth declaring independence.
And suddenly, Palatine returned. Also, something something Halo, something something DQ11, something something Stir, something something Spider-Man 2.
Thank you, Noctok. Admeth declared independence for the Deerwood in 2668 AI. After a bloody 4-year-long war that resulted in the death of Admeth, the relented. Trying to keep control of the Deerwood had become too costly. He signed treaties with the new Duke of the Deerwood and returned his attention to Rid Saris, redoubling efforts on the Vorlos trade, which is still running today. I want to hit something. It's too much reading. There's another one! This one's short. Unspent letter. Claviger Aemond. I know the blighting of the Strangle root is cause for concern, but I must strongly discourage any trade deal that involves buying additional crops from Feor Mes Everno. We cannot endorse the blasphemous trade of animancy, much less welcome it to our dinner tables. Signed, Ambassador Hilgard.
I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel?
Well, I have considered chartering a boat back to Adir.
Homesick already? After what you've been through, I can't say I blame you. But there's work to be done on the frontier. Good work, and I need you here at my side. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor?
Here you are, Ambassador. Give him the missive.
Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation.
Not enough for those. The Emperor sent me to investigate the Dream Scourge.
And I can't think of anyone more suited for the job. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles.
Who's the blue skin guy? Seems like a trustworthy fellow. There's two blue skin people. If you mean the one that with like scales and the shark teeth, that's Kai. And he is currently our only party member. You meet him, you could say like right when you get out of the newbie zone, you meet him. He's looking for the Claviger, you're looking for the Advisor, and they were together. So you're like, all right, look, our goals align. You want to team up to survive the wilds, and you go out together. And we found the Ambassador guy here. I said Advisor, I meant Ambassador, but the Claviger was dead. So currently he's kind of still in the party with me, but his personal quest is kind of stuck. I also found an arrow in my guts.
Trust me, we'll get to that.
Michael.
This embassy has no shortage of
and I'm like,
political
what?
foes. But the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities.
If you could be a fish, what species would you be? Tuna and white shark are taken. A fish? It depends. When you say a fish, do you just mean like any sea creature? Like, because a jellyfish isn't actually like a fish, but it's a sea creature. Jellyfishes can live hundreds of years. They don't die of old age. They're like immortal. That's crazy. Why is he wearing a tree on his face? So your character is touched by God, and when you were born, there was something on your head, and everyone's like, oh my God, he's a God touched. And you get to pick what it is, and I picked a plank on my face. It's growing out of my face. Let's see. Then we better get to work.
Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire.
I assume those are the people responsible for my death?
Your instincts do you credit. They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed
Loranity
our
raided my
soldiers,
stream with
and the final
256
straw,
viewers.
attacked you out in the open.
Hello, Laura. Thank you for the raid. I really appreciate that. Welcome. Laura's raid. Hello, hello. Welcome. We are trying out Avowed. I'm sure some of you have... I don't even care. I'm sure some of you have heard of it if you haven't seen it already. This is a RPG. It's a first-person RPG. You run around, you got swords, you got magic, it's first-person, stuff like that. And it's in the same universe as the Pillars of Eternity and Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire games. So far, I'm having a lot of fun. It's not a perfect game. I've got some negative criticism, but I'm having a lot of fun. I'm a wizard with a gun. You can do that. When I'm out of mana, I'm not out of options. Let's see. Why go after me? I just got here.
All the more reason to strike first, or so the thinking goes.
Whatever their reason, we have to retaliate for the good of the Empire. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the living lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home.
I can't
Inquisitor
take this
Ludwig
mayor
demands
seriously
that
because
someone
it's
hang
eyeliner.
for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice.
Oh, also to explain what you're looking at right now for the new folks, your character is somehow God-touched. And you got something weird on your face. It's immediately recognizable by everyone when they see you. And you can pick what it is. You can literally have mushrooms or flowers in your hair or a bit of like coral growing around your eyes. I slapped a wooden plank on my face. Which is really funny when it says something like you raise your eyebrow, because I imagine I have to draw on it like with like a marker. Let's see. The Dream Scourge is my top priority.
True, but you can't investigate the Dream Scourge if you're dead.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise.
I'll consider him. Thanks for the recommendation.
I can tell you're skeptical, but remember that you're an outsider here, and a lot of Kith aren't exactly thrilled to see so many Adirans in their midst.
New weeds, a new beast in the tall grass. Predator or mate?
Why are those the
As
only
you've
two
seen
options?
firsthand, you could use some local help, especially if we really are after Paradisans.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. Before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death.
No, I did die.
The health of your body is one thing. The health of your soul is another.
Liviana suggested I visit a Watcher.
An unusual course
Hey,
of
Madigan.
treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
Cyberpunk and now this. How often do you play people who have died, Muck? Are you kidding? It's in Guild Wars 2 as well. You die in Living World Season 4, and then you decide to get over it. Wish me luck, Ambassador.
Safe travels.
It's in Path of
Come
Fire,
back
fine.
with a good story, hey? We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy,
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
Okay. Bunch of XP. Nice.
I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Okay. Ah, wrong button, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, that's a canal. Aha, I thought I was gonna hop the fence and be here. I didn't see the pit.
Yeah, so close.
Market district. Yo, what do you got, Marilyn?
Step right up. I can tell you need more fire in your life. Or maybe more essence.
I can tell you want to
Please
speak
buy
to the
something.
manager.
I'm trying to prove a point.
What? And the point is?
My sister, the blacksmith, she doesn't think this will work out. I say she's wrong. Why keep a dagger under your pillow when you can use a ward stone instead?
A dagger's all well and good until your enemy casts fireball.
See? You understand? It's not cheating. It's being prepared.
Let me see what you're selling. Wait, what? Oh, okay, this is her stuff over here. Book of Fireball. That costs a lot of money. I can't afford that. Maybe someday. Weatherproofing threads. Minus 15% incoming fire, frost, and shock damage. Increase health restoration from all sources by 15%. Wow, Zonix. You know they can see your chat in the bottom right corner, right? You bully. Corrosive Siphon. Parasite Blizzard. Pummels nearby enemies with raining ice and frost accumulation. No, I'm good for now. Wait, there's multiple quest markers just popped up. Alright, what's this one?
So close. Oh, you are a special one, you are. I thought all the godlikes were taken back, wherever they came from. Don't mean a thing by it. I'm glad to see not all the gods have abandoned us.
I'm really not trying to attract attention.
Then you might want to get a hood, or a mask, or something. You should know.
Just draw a
this
happy
place
face on it.
is heading quickly into a swamp of madness. Even the plants and the animals feel it.
I assume this is where you ask for my help.
Very kind of you to ask. Very kind. You're the first to offer to help me in, well, ever. Sapiento di Falva, alchemist and dreamer, at your service. My latest experiment was meant to solve the scourge that has come over the local flora and fauna, but it wasn't meant to be. I expected my main reagent to be delivered today, but I suppose the gods had other ideas.
We fought a strange bear in the Strangle Route. Maybe this is connected.
Ah, quite likely. Tell me, was it drooling?
What?
I'd love to... never mind. Neither here nor there. No one knows how best to describe it, but we can all see it. Something is distorting the life around here. And I hoped to stop it.
And you have the answer?
Possibly, yes.
Possibly.
But now I can't begin my tests without my main reagent. I have everything I need, but the most important part. The luminous Adra. To cleanse the souls of the wildlife. The gentlemen who are supposed to acquire my Adra have not delivered it, and they seem to be avoiding me, as if they fear my wrath.
Is this guy Italian? My Adra. Scholar.